Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing how to add custom models to armors. I'm also going to be showing how to add custom trims to elytras, and also how to add custom armor trims to wolves. And there is so much more that can be done with this, and this is all thanks to custom armors that has been added in Snapshot 24W36A. Now this is mainly done with resource packs. There is also some use of data packs in parts of this. But let's first of all begin how to add custom armor textures. So let's jump straight to it. First of all, we're going to need a resource pack. Inside of this resource pack, you need a pack MC meta file, and you also need an assets file. Inside of the pack, you need the pack format, which currently is 37, and this is the minimum it can be. If you are using a more recent version in snapshots, then this will probably be higher. And it also has a description, which is what the pack does, and this just adds new armor textures. The pack image is optional, you don't need an image, but if you do want one, then that is something you can add. And then inside of the assets folder, you need a folder for whatever your resource pack is called. So for this case, I'm just putting it all in the Minecraft folder just because it makes adding things a lot easier. But if your resource pack is called custom armors, then that is what this would be called. Now to add custom armor textures, you need a models folder. And inside of this models folder, you need equipment folder. And then inside of the equipment, this is where you put the basically the file that stores the textures. And this is a JSON file. I've got some of them here as examples. So first of all, we're looking at the diamond armor. And this is used in the diamond armor. You have horse diamond armor, which gets it from horse body. You then have humanoid and humanoid leggings. And these are the options that can appear in this slot here. So in this slot, you can have wolf body, which is wolf armor, horse body, which is horse armor, llama body, which is for carpets. You then have humanoid and humanoid leggings, which are for armors. And then you have wings, which is for elytra. So if I quickly just show the turtle scute, this is for the helmet. And because there is only a helmet version of this, there is only the humanoid. There is no leggings or anything else. And if I quickly just show you the carpet, this is for the llama. And you can see the llama right here. And then I've just put in test, but this could be any llama carpet. So for example, red. So that's some examples. Now let's quickly cover the one I've added. So inside of here, we have a humanoid because we're adding custom armor textures. And I've done the texture to be heavy because I'm adding a version of heavy core armor. And then we'd also need the legging version because we want all three pieces. We don't just want helmet. Now this it will add in a second, but once again, this Minecraft is whatever your namespace is called. If after the assets it's not Minecraft, then you need to put whatever is after assets into these slots. So Minecraft, both of these Minecrafts will be changed to whatever is after assets. So now what we want to do is we want to save that. And we now want to go to the Minecraft and we want to go to textures. We want to go to a file called entity, equipment, and then this is where we now have the equipment textures. So inside of humanoid, we have one called heavy, and this is for the chest piece and helmet, and also boots, I believe. And then inside of the leggings, we have the leggings, which once again is just called heavy. And the reason these are both just called heavy is because if we head back to the models equipment, that is all we have in this slot right here. And that is all you really need for the custom resource pack to add custom armors. Now, if you want to make the armor trimmable, that is done by default. There is nothing you really need to add unless the item is a custom item. So now let's quickly just add this resource pack to Minecraft. So now I have added the resource pack and all we need to do is run this command. So we can remove the glider part. All you need to do is run giving yourself an item. I'm giving myself a netherite chest piece just because that then means you don't need to make a data pack to make it trimmable. If you give yourself, like for example, an acacia boat that you want to equip onto yourself, you will need to make a data pack because acacia boats can't go inside of smithing tables. So you need to run this command and you need to run Minecraft equipable. The model, which once again is the JSON file we just created, it's inside of the Minecraft folder, and the JSON file is just called heavy. So that is where we are pulling it from. We are then having the slot, and this is our chest piece slot. So we are doing the chest, and then the equipment sound, which can be whatever you want. We are just using the equip sound of chainmail. So if I now grant myself this and equipped it, you can see it's using our custom texture. If I was to now just change this, so let's change this slot to leggings. I don't know if it's called leggings or legs. It's just called legs. There we go. So if I now enter that in, this will equip to my legs. And you can see once again, it's using the same texture from the file we just created. And although it's a chest piece, that doesn't matter because it will equip to whatever slot you have set in this slot. And let's do the silence armor trim with maybe amethyst. So let's just grab some of that. And then now, if I throw that into that slot, the amethyst there, and the trim right there, you can see it has trimmed the armor. And if I now equip this, you can see it now shows the trim. Now let me just quickly show you what you would need in a data pack if you wanted to add a boat to have a custom model. So for the data pack, you are going to need to add a pack file. Inside it here just needs the pack format of 52. And in the description, this is just adds custom goat horns, but we can change this to whatever we want. So let's now save this. You then need a data, Minecraft. Once again, this Minecraft needs to be called Minecraft, because we are adding tags and they need to override the Minecraft tag. And then inside of tags, we want an item folder, and then we want trimmable armor. And inside of here, I have just added wolf armor and elytras because we've added custom trims later in the video, which we'll cover. But for example, if you wanted to make a bamboo plank to be trimmable, you'd need to add the bamboo planks into this option. So if I was to quickly just copy this, let's add the bamboo planks right here. And now if I quickly just make sure there is a comma, there needs to be a comma at the end of every line apart from the final one. Now, once again, let me quickly just mention, if you add something into this slot and it doesn't have the equipment tag, nor does it have the model, it will not have a trim on the item. It will only trim if it has a custom model. I've reloaded the world with the updated data pack, so we can now trim the bamboo planks. Now, I quickly just want to show you that if I grab a bamboo plank with no data onto it, so let's quickly just do that, this will not have any trim. Although I can enter it into this slot, if I was to trim it, you can see nothing shows on the actual item, and that is because it doesn't have a custom model. Whereas this one does, so if I was to trim this one, you can see the model then shows, but once again, it doesn't show on the item unless you equipped it. And we are now basically equipping bamboo into our slot with it being trimmed. So now I've shown how to add custom armors. This can be done with wolf armor. You can add custom wolf armor textures, horse armor textures, llama overlay textures, and all you need to change for these different versions is what is shown inside of the models. So if you was to add a different version, you'd need to change this slot right here for human, llama, wolf, or whatever. And you also need to change where the textures are stored. So I'm just quickly jump into the Minecraft files just so I can show you an example. So if you are adding a custom wolf armor, that is stored inside of entity and then equipment, and you can see the different versions right here. So for example, wolf body has the armadillo armor. If we jump to the llama body, you can see it has all the different wool variants. So you do need to make sure they are in the correct files here, otherwise it probably won't load correctly. So from the assets folder, Minecraft, you don't need to add anything into the models because we're not adding any custom models. All you need to do is go to textures, you need to add a folder called trims, and then inside that you need to add a folder called entity, and then you need to add a folder for whatever you want. So for example, we're using horse body, wolf body, wings again. So if you want a custom trim for the elytra wings, then you need to add a folder called wings, and this is where your texture goes. The texture needs to be named whatever the trim is called. So for example, we've added one for the bolt armor trim, so it needs to be called the exact same as what the armor trim is. And then all you need to do is add a atlases inside of the assets, then Minecraft. And inside of here, you need to add a JSON called armor trims. And then inside of this, you need to add the trim texture location. For example, we have the wolf body as trims entity wolf body bolt, and we have the elytra as trims entity wings bolt. And that is all you need to do for the custom trims on models. Once again, you don't need to do anything for custom trims on armor models because the game does that by default. Now, one quick thing I want to quickly mention, if you are adding a texture, so let's quickly just say, for example, the dune texture right here, we're adding for the wolf. If you're struggling to make the texture, you want to make sure it overlays the wolf. So for example, I've added this one right here, and this is just me testing it, so this isn't lined up with the wolf's armor at all. And you can get a good look at that if I go into game. You can see there are pixels on the wolf where you wouldn't really want trim to be. Same with the elytra. If I quickly just equip this elytra, you can see there are some pixels where you probably wouldn't want pixels to be. And the best way to fix this is just open up the Minecraft textures. So for example, let's go to textures, entity, and then we want to go to equipment, then we want to go to wings and open up the elytra. So if you was to add a custom armor trim, you'd want the armor trim to only be on this visible part. If you add armor trim to any of the part that hasn't got this like elytra texture, so for example, what we might want to do is just grab this one and paste that. Let's quickly just create a new thing. We might want to paste that one up there. We then might want to grab another one right here and paste that down here. So now if I was to add this, let's maybe just do some sort of line. So how thick is this? This is only 1 thick. So let's just grab maybe this area right here. And then we just want to paste this up and down. And then we just want to cover a little bit of this part as well, just so this has a bit of armor on it. So let's just do something like that. There we go. So this now is the trim. So we're going to add this as a new texture, and we're going to add this as Dune because that is the trim it's using. So let's now save this, and that is now saved. But I've made a mistake. We need to make sure we remove the Elytra texture because we don't want the Elytra texture to be there. So I'm just going to delete that. So now I've added the new Dune to the wings. So now wings can be trimmed with Dune and Bolt. We now just need to go and update the atlases to include that new texture. So let's copy the wings version, let's then paste it down, and let's just update this one as well. So there we go, now we want to save this, and this will now work. So let's just update the resource pack inside of the game. So here we go, I'm now going to drag it in, and this should now update. You can see everything's unloaded because there's no texture pack. If I now add the texture pack, you can see the Elytra, this is the wrong trim, so I now need to add the correct trim, which we updated the Dune one, so let's just grab that. And now let's grab that right here. Let's now equip that onto our back, and you can see that it is updated with the texture we used. I do quickly just want to turn off the cape because the cape is making it so you can't really see. So let's just disable that. And there you go. You can now see that the Elytra has a custom armor trim on it. And also, once again, if you want Elytras to be trimmable or you want wolf armor to be trimmable, you will need to follow the data pack part I showcased where you add them into the tag, because by default they can't be placed into the smithing template. And that is it. That is how easy it is to add custom armor textures, also how to add custom armor trims to wolves and also Elytras. If you found this tutorial useful, then leave a like and subscribe as it does really help out. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask them in the comments and I'll try and answer them the best I possibly can. If you struggle to get anything to work, then join my Discord or feel free to ask for help in the comments and I'll try and help the best I can as well. But anyway, if you enjoyed, do leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.